Capesize Bulker is a large class of bulk carrier ship that is too large to fit through the Panama Canal and is therefore primarily used for long-distance transportation of bulk commodities between major global ports, especially in the Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. The term Capesize refers to the size of the vessel being too large for the Panama Canal, meaning these ships must navigate around the southern tips of South America, Cape Horn, or Africa, Cape of Good Hope, to travel between oceans, hence the name Capesize. Key characteristics of a Capesize bulker: size, deadweight tonnage, DWT. Capesize bulkers typically have a DWT ranging from 150,000 to 400,000 tons, making them among the largest dry bulk carriers in the world. Length: they are usually between 290 and 360 meters, 950 to 1,180 feet, long. Beam width: around 45 meters, 148 feet, wide. Draft: the draft, depth of the ship below the waterline, can exceed 20 meters, 66 feet, which limits the ports they can access, as they need deep water ports for docking. Cargo: Capesize bulkers are designed to carry dry bulk commodities like iron ore, the largest commodity transported by Capesize ships, coal grain, fertilizers, cement. These ships are specifically built for long-distance transport of large quantities of bulk materials. Design: geared ships with cranes for loading and unloading are not common in the Capesize class. Most are gearless, meaning they rely on shore-based facilities for loading and unloading, requiring specialized terminals with deep water ports. The large size of Capesize ships limits their accessibility to ports with deeper water and larger docking facilities. Main features: Capesize bulkers are designed for maximum capacity and efficiency in transporting massive quantities of bulk cargo. They are crucial for industries such as steel production, where iron ore and coal are transported for smelting and steel manufacturing. Main shipping routes for Capesize bulkers: Capesize bulkers are used primarily for transporting bulk commodities on long-haul international routes due to their large size and the fact that they cannot fit through the Panama Canal. Their main routes are based on key trade flows of iron ore, coal, and other bulk materials. Australia to China, Pacific route. Ports: Australian ports like Port Hedland, Newcastle, and Gladstone to major Chinese ports such as Tianjin, Shanghai, Qingdao, and Dalian. Commodities: iron ore is the primary cargo transported along this route, as Australia is one of the world's largest exporters of this mineral, essential for steelmaking in China. Route: ships travel across the Pacific Ocean, often around the southern tip of Australia. Brazil to China and Europe, Atlantic route. Ports: Brazilian ports like Santos, Ponta da Madeira, and Itaqui to ports in China, e.g. Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Europe, e.g. Rotterdam, Antwerp. Commodities: iron ore is also a key export from Brazil, making this one of the most important trade routes for Capesize bulkers. Brazil competes with Australia as a primary exporter of iron ore to the global market. Route: the ships sail across the Atlantic Ocean and around the Cape of Good Hope to reach Asian and European markets. Australia to Japan and South Korea, Pacific route. Ports: ports in Australia to key ports in Japan, e.g. Kobe, Yokohama, and South Korea, e.g. Busan. Commodities: this route is significant for transporting coal, as Australia is a major exporter of thermal and metallurgical coal to the steel industries in East Asia. South Africa to China and India, Indian Ocean route. Ports: ports in South Africa like Durban and Saldanha Bay to China and India. Commodities: this route is used to transport coal, primarily from South Africa, to the growing energy markets in China and India. Route: ships travel through the Indian Ocean and pass through the Cape of Good Hope. Russia to China and Europe. Ports: Russian ports like Nakodka and Vladivostok to China, e.g. Shanghai, and Europe, e.g. Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Commodities: coal and iron ore are important exports from Russia. The vast Siberian coal and iron ore resources are shipped to China, which has a huge demand for these materials for steel production. Route: ships from Russia usually take the Pacific route to China and the Atlantic route to Europe. United States to Europe, transatlantic route. Ports: US ports like New Orleans, Norfolk and Baltimore to European ports such as Rotterdam, Antwerp and Liverpool. Commodities. The US exports grain, e.g. corn and wheat, to Europe, as well as some coal. Route. This is a transatlantic route that requires the Capesize Bulker to navigate the Atlantic Ocean, with the possibility of passing through the Suez Canal or the Cape of Good Hope depending on the specific destination.